Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. I've been seeing all your comments on TikTok asking me for reviews analysis for this one. So today, it's finally happening. But before we get into that, don't forget to check this exclusive discount for it. You can find the link in both the video description and the top comment below. Now let's not delay any further and jump right into the details.
To get things started, let's hear from our first reviewer.
This reviewer was initially hesitant about buying an electric bike, but after a few days with this scooter, they are genuinely impressed. It feels well built and thoughtfully designed. On its maiden voyage, they and their wife logged several miles on paved roads using only the throttle. This client managed to hit a decent speed on their initial run, though subsequent attempts were slightly slower. Their wife cruised at a more relaxed pace. The battery usage seemed reasonable, with the manual accurately stating that frequent stops drain it faster. Customer service has been responsive, answering questions promptly. The ride is comfortable, especially with the front suspension locked and the tire pressure set within the recommended range. Assembly was relatively straightforward, although the reviewer noted that the online manual could use some updating. Provided video link was broken, but they found a helpful one online with a quick search. This client did encounter some minor issues. Locking the front fork suspension initially proved difficult, requiring a bit of tinkering with a switch not mentioned in the manual. Installing the front wheel also presented a challenge due to a tightened brake caliper, which they resolved by loosening a screw. The only remaining problem is adjusting the gears to eliminate slippage, which they plan to research online. Despite these minor hiccups, our reviewer is extremely satisfied with their purchase so far, believing it offers excellent value. They are considering buying an extra battery to increase the range, though compatibility and cost remain unknown. They liked it so much that they ordered a second one for their wife. As a side note for those looking to transport the bike, it weighs around 51 pounds with the battery, which itself weighs just over 4 pounds.
Great! Now let's see what our next reviewer has to say about their experience.
This reviewer feels this scooter is a really nice option, offering just the right features for their needs. They found it pretty straightforward to complete the assembly, especially with the help of an online video. Our reviewer did mention needing to make a small adjustment to the rear derailleur, as it was initially off by a gear, but that was easily corrected. This client bought this scooter primarily for commuting from a rural area to the city. While the ride into the city is mostly flat or downhill, the return trip involves some challenging steep hills. The 21-speed gear system was a major reason they chose this scooter over others with fewer gears. Initially, they were a bit concerned because the motor seemed less powerful than expected. When trying to climb a moderate hill using only the throttle, the scooter struggled. However, their confidence grew significantly once they started pedaling, finding it much easier to manage the incline. The real test came during the commute. On the way to work, the reviewer rode without any assistance, finding that the 21 speeds worked well and the scooter felt similar to their regular mountain bike. On the ride home, engaging the pedal assist made a huge difference on the steep hills, allowing them to maintain a reasonable speed without excessive strain. They were happy that the scooter performed as hoped, making those tough climbs manageable. One minor issue they noted was the limited space for a water bottle due to the frame shape and battery size, requiring a workaround solution. However, they were able to find a triangular tool pouch that fit nicely within the frame and added a rack and saddlebags to avoid needing a backpack. Overall, this client considers it a worthwhile purchase, pleased with both the functionality and the price. The only remaining question is its long-term durability.
Excellent. Let's find out what our next reviewer has to share about their experience.
This reviewer ordered this bike online, and it arrived looking exactly as advertised. It was a little odd, though, that the specific model wasn't actually featured on the manufacturer's website. There was a YouTube video for something called the same name, but the bike in the video looked completely different. It seemed more like a slightly altered version of another highly rated model from the same company, even drawing comparisons to much more expensive, high-end electric bikes. Assembling this bike wasn't too bad overall, although the instructions were a bit lacking in clarity. The process was complicated by a defective weld in a threaded insert within the frame, which was needed to attach part of the rear rack. Customer support was responsive and helpful, but ultimately it was faster for our reviewer to fix the issue themselves using some tools. Despite that little hiccup, this client thinks this bike seems fantastic, almost unbelievably good for the price. While they can't yet vouch for its long-term durability, it's a good-looking, sturdy machine with some great features and a comfortable riding experience. The only real bummer, seeing the price drop by a significant amount on the website shortly after the purchase.
And that's a wrap. If this video was helpful, like and subscribe. Got questions? Let's chat in the comments. See you soon.